Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So, I have a ruler on here. I generally don't ever try to take something and make it. I eyeball it. That's not easy for me to say. But I had my ruler sitting here and I thought, I'm going to look. And I was sitting and I was kind of, this is where I was estimating. When Owen and I do this, sometimes there's rough edges or things don't get smoothed out completely. And that's part of the story. That's part of him learning. That's part of me learning. That's part of us growing together. So one of the things, I've been painting every day for years, but I don't always, like I said, care where something starts or where something stops. Today is technically not any different, but I'm going to try to kind of get in the vicinity. And it doesn't really matter because, I'm doing a little bit of everything here. So, see, and this is why it doesn't really matter, because it's going to continue to kind of grow. Now, if you've watched before, you know that I don't do straight lines well, and when I'm trying to outline something, which just technically isn't an outline, but I'm trying to kind of do some smooth sections here. Because, Lynn, what are you doing? Well, I always see these dresses that are real whimsical, and they're like ribbon and different things. They're more of a textile type of thing. So I thought that I would go through and kind of make this not that textile wise, but here use this as kind of the jumping off point and doing the dress in a different type of format. So I'm going to put a clothes hanger up here. There is all kinds of noises, and every time I'm hearing noises, I jump. And the winds are really out there right now. The temperature was like in the 40s when we first got up this morning, and then it quickly went down and down and down and down and down. And so the wind is just crazy. And today was like a big day for me. I got my port taken out. So I still have some follow-up appointments. If you're new to the journey, I had breast cancer. I was diagnosed last year, and just a lot a lot, and I knew a lot of the journey would be how Owen handled it and what he kind of thought of the whole thing. And so my hair has always been a big part of our life. He looks at people in pictures, and it's just kind of the way he sees everything. And so I knew when I was going to be losing my hair that I needed to spend a lot of time preparing him for those moments. Breathe in, breathe out. It's hard. It's emotional. It's devastating. It's all of the things. Ooh, I'm making a mess. I'm making a mess, people. This is no surprise. If you've been here before, you know that's no surprise. So, kind of working in that moment, it's very, very emotional because he did not want my hair to go away. He did not, oops, she said, oops. He wanted my hair long. He wanted my hair to not change colors because I was blonde. I'm doing air quotes here. If it's cut, if you can't really here, I'll try to do it. I was blonde. So that is hard for him to kind of grasp and get through. And I knew I cried more tears over the emotions that he would be going through because of that part of the journey. And it's hard. It was hard. It's still hard. And he's reached out to a lot of the people that we know that have long hair. Like, and I mean by reaching out, like he always wants to pet their hair, especially when they have it back in a ponytail. And that's what he calls it, is pet their hair. So, because he will, if he's with them for a 30-minute kind of session, he will like look at their hair many, many times to make sure that it hasn't changed. So he's very, very emotional about it. Very, just, it's a lot. It's a lot. When he was much younger, excuse me, that went down wrong. When, I would even touch my head. Like if I had at different lengths throughout, time, but most of the time it was, past my waist or right around my waist. And so I had very long hair. And if I would take my hair and I would pull it from one side or the other, he would have a huge meltdown and come across the room and just scream and pull my hair. And when he was really little, he would bite me or kick me or. So he's grown a lot, but I still knew that my hair would be an emotional part of the journey. And I was having chemo. I knew I was going to lose my hair. So when you go through a process with your child and okay, I think that's hello. You're in those moments, it's got to be a teaching moment for him. It's got to be a learning experience for me, because otherwise you're stuck in a moment, and trying to get through it is extremely difficult and challenging. So there we are with the fact that I'm going to be losing my hair. And so when I found that out, I started going and getting my hair cut and cut and cut and cut every few inches until it was just falling out way too much. And the cancer center that I had my treatments, they have a boutique there, and you could get your hair cut for free, and they would give you a wig if you chose to wear a wig or any of that. Wigs, just, that wasn't, I just couldn't do it, just because Owen would pull it off or try to play with it too much, and it was just going to be too much. So, I don't know what got me. I should go get some water. So with all of that, I just trudged through. I wore a lot of bunny ear beanies, and together we kind of would pick out colors and different things. And when I first was diagnosed, I knew, they told me that I had to have chemo, and I have to say it slowly still. I kept calling chemo camo. And so I think I'll be right back. Okay, I think I'm back. I was having some choking moments there. So anyways, with Owen, I knew this was going to be a big journey with him. And so we just started working on it, and he's come so incredibly far. But it's been a lot for him to process, for me to process. And so we have been so blessed with so many people that have loved and supported us and got us through so many of these emotional moments for both of us. And that's what it's all about, is finding ways to kind of work through it and know that we're not alone. I feel like I'm grabbing all the wrong tools today. I'm trying to make myself use brushes that I don't normally use, and that doesn't always work out in my favor, but here we are. So today was a big day to be able to get my port taken out. And I still have a few little, the follow-up appointments for the next few years, really. But it's so much closer than it was ever. So I'm just glad to be where I'm at. And just gonna keep going, moving forward. So my mom drove me to my appointment, and then Owen, they went to get some breakfast, which just meant going and getting some pancakes and potatoes through the drive-thru, and then driving around. But my appointment was done very quickly. To me, it was quickly. it was basically 45 minutes in and out for that. And my doctor is incredible. She's a 10/10, do not recommend cancer. Not at all. But I 100% recommend my CAMC, if I can say it correctly, Cancer Center, and all the staff and doctors and everything there. They were absolutely amazing for everything. So, then after my appointment, my mom took Owen back to her house, and in a little while, I'm gonna get him for his vision therapy appointment. I had to think what it was called. He was worried yesterday. His brain is amazing and just wild, how the things that he comes up with and the scenarios that he builds upon. He was concerned because yesterday when we got home from church, our electricity went out. I mean, not electricity, internet went out. And so when I'm going to try a little red in here, and then I may end up just so it's a little our internet went out when we got home from church. It was out, and this does not go over well with Owen, and he got very upset, and he started talking about, he was worried that he was going to miss his vision therapy appointment today because the internet went out yesterday. And I mean, that's how his mind thinks. He can't, like, always, he connects dots. I mean, and we all do this, we all do it to some degree, but he connects dots of things that you can't even imagine how he got there, but yet there he is. And it just, like I said, is so amazing as to how he gets through those moments. So I told him that he need not worry. I was more worried about the weather keeping us. I need my hip replaced, and that's the next phase of my journey is getting my hip replaced. And so when sometime next year, this is, if you're watching this next year, this is December 29th, 2025. So sometime in 2026, it should be probably around March or so, I'm going to get my hip replaced. And I should have done it years ago, but when you have a busy little world going on, you just keep moving forward, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm not 100% sure that I liked the added color, but once I got going on it, I'm committed. but we're almost done with all these little flowers. And once it dries, it will not be quite as, in your face. I have so many things I need to be doing, painting-wise. But right now my focus has been a little bit, a little bit off. I was gonna do another pink one, but I want a blue one down here. So now I'm gonna do, I've been trying to decide, I could either do a bow, a dramatic bow, or a straight thing, or a bigger flower, or a row of flowers right here to kind of cover that up. And the thing is, whatever we decide, we can change it or attempt to. Oh, this frog in my throat. Ooh. So there we go. I feel like I need some little random ones. I feel like I either put too many or not enough at some point. So I'm just gonna do a couple more that are just out there and then be done with it. Okay, now, the only thing I wish I could get straighter, and that is not going to happen with that. Let's see. I don't like, this is so rough, and part of it's the boards that I use are they're not as what's the right word? I want to say porous, but that's not quite the right word. They're not like very solid. So sometimes they get like rough edges to them. I feel like this needs to come down just a little bit more. You probably can't see it as well. Oh, that's too thick. But that's better than it was. One of Owen's favorite words right now is bleeding. He thinks everything is bleeding. And he doesn't, but he does. He knows what the term bleeding means. Like, he understands that, like, he'll walk up to me, and if he's cut his finger or something, he'll say it's bleeding. But he attempts to put his jacket on like a post or like the chair or the doorknob or something, and he'll say it got caught, and he'll try to work that out. Like, I feel like he's working on how to undo something or uncatch. What's the word? Take apart? I don't know. Anyways, so when he pulls it off, and it's not really caught, it's just the way he's talking about it, he will then say, it's bleeding. And he'll say this about everything. Like if he drops something, he'll say it's bleeding. If he does, I mean, you name it, the bleeding happens. And how, he knows what blood is, but how do you explain that? So, Mama don't like bleed. Mama, I don't think, as much medical stuff as I have and he has, I don't like medical stuff. And bleeding is just like my least favorite thing. But he talks about it. So I'm hoping that this bleeding thing goes on. But anyways, the reason I even brought that up is because that's kind of what it looks like. And again, you probably can't see it in the camera as close. But when it doesn't help that I can't draw straight because I shake a little bit. And I'm sure, like I've said before, there's probably a way to straighten things or do it a little bit calmer, but I don't. But you can see like down here, and it's part of the way that I do the strokes, or I do the back, this type of board or something, because you can get high grade boards that have a smoother finish, and there's like, you can put different, before you put the paint on it, you can even paint this with a texture so that it would close in some of those. But I paint so much that I just do what I do. So anyways, the whole reason I brought up Owen was because of the bleeding. It looks like, if you were going to use that term bleeding as like when paint or something bleeds, ink bleeds through, that's kind of what that looks like. So there we go. Oh, I need to sign. So we have our thing. I'm excited about it. There we go. So I do O for Owen, and then L, and B. That was a P, but we were going to get there. All right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.